At first, when your aura disappeared, we thought about avenging you. But when we got there, we were also killed. The story of what happened after Higa died was left unfinished. Hiroshi let the sound of waves drown out what he was about to say. Dango was silent, staring at the sand colored by the sunset. I couldn't get there in time because low-level demon was still surrounded near in temple. When I arrived, I saw Kaoru crying next to your bodies. Tateyama continued the unsuccessful revenge story of his teammate. She asked me to take you guys back to the temple, asked Hina to treat your wounds and didn't allow me to watch the revival process for you guys. After that, Hina and I were knocked unconscious. When I woke up, I saw we and Mzonko was in the temple. This plan is quite good, isn't it? Hiroshi commented and picked up a few pebbles on the beach to look at. By some sophisticated trick, the murderer erased all traces of the massacre. The grass, trees, and rocks didn't hold any clues. As soon as the mysterious magic was recovered, the pebble in Hiroshi's hand suddenly shattered. The attention of the group of former detectives simultaneously turned to the sky. Lifeless eyes hidden behind crimson clouds gradually faded and disappeared. I have a feeling that our dead is not just an ordinary murder. This is also a battle of wits between us and the creator of this world and Kaoru. Hiroshi affirmed and smiled faintly. If Kaoru was still here, we would have quite a few clues. But she's dead. You want to see her again. Dango's cold tone cut through the lame excuse. Hiroshi looked at his closest teammate and admitted, this life is impermanent. People I thought I had a chance to meet in the blink of an eye were never seen again. Hiroshi, don't let that rat die in vain. If you want to revenge, don't be sentimental. Dango reminded. That person is still following us. I have a feeling you changed because of his influence. The skeptic's reasoning made the fox laugh. Higa put his hands on his hips and grinned in response. Tateyama laughed like he was watching the climax of an expensive comedy. Dango looked at his teammates with a puzzled expression then turned to face the sea. Sunset was gone. The darkness gradually swallowed the scene and obscured his amber eyes, making the expression on Dango's face even more unpredictable. The sound of whispering waves suddenly stopped. The sound of birds calling to their flock also drifted into silence as a streak of light like a shooting star streaked across the sky. Akiko arrived with bad news. Her face turned pale, and her tone was also urgent as if she was afraid she would forget what she was about to say. Lord Pluto has ordered the Death Realm Task Force to increase patrols on the Dimension Road. No one can get through now. Is there something new? Tateyama asked stupidly. Akiko nodded and answered. After Kaoru's death, the unusually hot winds on the other side of the magic net kept pouring in. To ensure the safety of the human world, Lord Pluto ordered to kill all demon that tried to cross the barrier. Kaoru is so naughty. Hiroshi forced himself to smile when he heard the news brought by Akiko. He looked at the female god of death, affirming, "Don't worry, we have no any intention of crossing to the other side of the magic net. Kaoru is dead. Whether the world over there survives or perishes has nothing to do with me." The fox put his hand on his coat pocket, deliberately lulling Hyan to sleep with the scent of sedative herbs wafting through his fingers. He understood that if the little goblin woke up, it would scream miserably again, demand that he take it to find Kaoru. Children didn't lie, and when Hyan was a reflection of its creator's thoughts, it would break the mask of resilience he created. That trick could not avoid the sharp observation eyes of his teammates. Akiko reminded the fox to spend more time with Hyan and then hurried back to the dead world. The group of former detectives left the beach when the lighthouse just turned on. Hiroshi placed Hyan in a wooden box lined with black velvet once he had returned to his own room. Unconsciously, the fox demon teased the sleeping little elf. The image of Kaoru sitting next to him, resting her head on the fox's shoulder appeared and shattered as he turned his head towards the illusion. Hiroshi's sad smile was seen by his mischievous brother. For the first time in his life, he peeked at the fox but was not discovered. But this victory did not make him happy, but made him even sadder when he discovered that the purple flower had disappeared. Thinking that his brother and the owner of a Yame restaurant were angry with each other, the mischievous boy took his saving to buy a beautiful lipstick, wrapped it carefully in an eye-catching gift box, and brought it to a Yame restaurant. The gift box in his hand fell, the lid opened, and the lipstick many people dreamed of lying on the street. The restaurant full of old memories has become an empty land. No one knew where the innkeeper has gone. Everyone said that the Ayame restaurant disappeared overnight, and sometimes people saw mysterious figures approaching the empty lot and not coming back. Care, you come here again. The voice of memories drifts away with the wind. The naughty little brother stood silently for a long time, sighed softly, then picked up the unclaimed gift. It's almost dark. Why are you still here? Akiko, in the form of a young girl wearing glasses and a mask, slowly walked over and asked. Who are you? Care looked alert and proactively backed away. The deaf was slightly confused. When she still didn't know how to explain her appearance, the fox answered for her. That mysterious sister is my friend. Today she has a cold, so she has to wear a mask to avoid infecting others. And the fox looked at his younger brother and reminded him in a warm and friendly voice. It's dark, you're easily in danger wandering around alone like that. Mom and Dad didn't see you at home, so they told me to find you. Brother, where is my big sister? Care clutched the lipstick he just bought as if clutching despair in his heart. You promised to find big sister for me. But when she left, you didn't say any words. The cold wind blew through the leaves, pushing dark clouds to obscure the moon. At the moment of transition between light and darkness, a shapeless black shadow appeared behind Care. The fox's naughty little brother didn't feel it. He still patiently searched for a satisfactory answer in his brother's eyes. Akiko stood on the opposite side, shaking her head slightly to signal not to reveal the truth. She secretly threw a few rays of spiritual energy at the strange creature. Her power sank into the darkness and was lost. Akiko's aura and the pain in Care's heart made the dark creature grow larger. It opened its eyes, threatening the attacker with yellow eyeballs and blood-red threads. Brother, you haven't answered me yet. Where is my big sister? Why is this place an empty lot? Kaoru has something to do and has to go back to her hometown. Before she left, she sold this place to me. I had someone build a new Ayame restaurant. When Kaoru returns, I will give her a beautiful and spacious new restaurant. The fox demon patted his brother's head and explained. It's true that before her left, we had a bit of a conflict. But don't worry, every couple has a few arguments to understand each other better. You're lying. If it was a normal argument, she wouldn't leave this place. It's obvious she doesn't want to see you again. The fox's delicate cheeks turned a little red. He leaned close to his younger brother's ear and whispered. We were arguing about how many children we would have after getting married. Kaoru really likes children, and I'm afraid she'll have a hard time. Honestly, I don't want anyone to share Kaoru's feelings with me. So she was angry with me. Before leaving, Kaoru said that if a Ayame restaurant had enough big for a large family, she would return. That's why I thought about expanding the restaurant. I'm sorry for hiding it from you. Care's face, dark with sadness and doubt, suddenly brightened. He put the gift box and lipstick in the fox's hand and happily said, I've already bought an apology gift for you. When my big sister come back, you must apologize properly. Then the boy, who had never experienced anything in life, held out his little finger, looked straight into the fox's eyes, and seriously commanded, Promise me. The fox shook his hand at his younger brother and nodded slightly. I will. The dark creature gradually became transparent and blended into the blackness of the evening. Akiko breathed a sigh of relief when she saw Care and Hiroshi leave the land full of memories. The Styx River ferryman continued to bring souls to the dead world, unaware that someone had witnessed everything. The blue sports-style motorbike accompanied him to a high-rise building and stopped. He urgently went into another person's office, told everything and waited for direction. My child wandered around all afternoon just looking for big sister. Hiroshi's stepfather asked the detective who had just brought back the news with an extremely serious attitude. The detective nodded seriously. The middle-aged man pulled out the reward money from his coat pocket and gave it to the detective and signaled him to go out. Waiting for the office to become a private space, he took out the family photo in his wallet and looked at it and remembered the family of 3 from before. Dad, I'm home. Care's announcement and the sparse knocking sound caused Hiroshi's stepfather to quickly put the old photo in his wallet. Care saw it all. He ran over, quickly grabbed his father's hand and the old photo, and scolded, Dad, you act like I'm an outsider. I'm afraid you're just sad. Mom and your younger brother died on your birthday. For several years, you didn't celebrate your birthday and constantly blamed yourself. At times like these, I'm very afraid of losing you. I want to say the death of your mom and your brother is an arrangement of fate, you're not at fault. Your will is also not at fault. But in return, you found me a very kind mother and a very wonderful brother. Care chose comforting words and looked mysterious. Someday, our family will have more people and it will be more crowded than now. The fox demon's stepfather nodded, but deep thoughts flashed in his eyes. A talented son like Hiroshi cannot marry a shop owner of unknown origin. He pretended to ask a few more things about the mysterious daughter-in-law but received nothing but the name Kaoru. He began searching for information about other girls more worthy of Hiroshi and stopped by a portrait of a beautiful girl named Fushaheim. He has gone too far. Lord Pluto looked at Hiroshi's stepfather nodding with satisfaction in the office and affirmed. Kaoru just passed away, and the former detectives haven't had their revenge yet. It will be a long time before Hiroshi loves someone else. How long has it been, my lord? Zero stood next to him, asking stupidly. A fox's loyalty is measured by its life. Do you understand? Zero didn't ask any more. The frightened face secretly looked up at the mirror reflecting the situation of the human world. The shy green-skinned demon looked a little sad when he saw Hiroshi taking care of Hyan. Next to the fox was an illusion of Kaoru playing with Hiroshi's red hair that she couldn't touch. Hiroshi revoked the illusion, went alone to the dimensional road and looked at the Death Realm task force patrolling there. They didn't make difficult for the fox demon when he got close to the barrier. The group of former detectives have sacrificed so much for the demon world, the human world, and the dead world, so the task force always gives the detectives a favor within acceptable limits. Hiroshi knew that and didn't ask for more. He stood in front of the magic net, looking at the dark space on the opposite side. Kaoru's image suddenly appeared and faded very quickly with the strange wind that just came. Stop lying to yourself. You really want to meet her, right? Dango stepped forward, glanced at his closest teammate and provoked him. If you want to change the present, you must return to the past. Dare you try? Hiroshi couldn't refuse. And if he wants to go, we must give our full support. The King of Hell advised Zero and Akiko. He crossed his arms over his chest, frowning thoughtfully. The scene of the dark creature clinging to Care suddenly returned. After pondering for a long time, the King of Hell began to divide new tasks between his two assistants. Zero, you check the punishment room and the cells. If there's anything strange, report it to me. Akiko, you and Fuese keep following that kid Care. In the worst case scenario, you have to bring him back here right away. Yes. Akiko quickly returned to the human world. Zero and a few other Grim Reapers went down to the penalty room. Everything was okay. There are no signs that any ghosts or monsters have escaped. After half a day of patrolling, Zero returned to report and was shaken when he heard the King of Hell conclude, "Things are worse than we thought. We must act before it's too late."